The universe is a dream dreamed by a single dreamer where all dream characters dream too, said Schopenhauer. I bought a few days ago Schopenhauer's complete works for something like 88p on my Kindle, and I started reading his book World as Idea, which is part of his metaphysical magnum opus, World as Will and Representation. And I came across his view on dreams, where he asks the question, is there a sure criterion of the distinction between reality and dreams? Is our life not just a dream itself? Kant disagrees on this idea, that life is a dream. He says in relation to the realm of causality, which produces the connections of ideas among themselves, he says that this constitutes the difference between real life and dream. He is saying that, I quote, "The connection of ideas among themselves, according to the law of causality, constitutes the difference between real life and dreams." End quote. But Schopenhauer disagrees with this assertion. Yes, of course, the realm of causality contributes and manifests reality through our awakened consciousness as we know it, but Schopenhauer says that in the case of dream and real life, the principle of sufficient reason is broken, is disconnected. So therefore, just because this bridge of sufficient reason breaks when entering dream state, doesn't mean that life is not a dream. It only highlights that there is a distinguishable difference between the former and the latter. This doesn't mean reality and dream are different per se, but only that the principles of sufficient reason or causal chain which manifests within them are, that the difference in causal nexus is the only signifier in understanding their difference. Thus, how can you attain that a certain set of principles are more real than any others? It is just another realm of causality that follows different principles. I would assume from a complete outer observation that neither has a higher value in and among themselves. With the causal chain being different and that there is no symmetry in causality in which we can identify between the two, no ability to measure, then I don't think we can ascertain that a specific existence is real reality. What we do know is that both experiences have a different causal chain, therefore there is no encompassing causality, which can be used as an objective standard which can allow us to differentiate between real reality and dream. Even though Kant states that the realm of causality constitutes the difference between real reality and dream, it only provides that both existences in experience have different realms of causality. It does not prove that one is real reality, it only proves that one is a long dream and another is a short dream. Schopenhauer writes the following, I quote, "But in dreams, as well as in real life, everything is connected individually at any rate, in accordance with the principle of sufficient reason in all its forms. And this connection is broken only between life and dreams, or between one dream and another." End quote. From this, Schopenhauer reworks Kant's answer. Instead of stating that realm of causality constitutes the difference between reality and dream, inciting that there is only one true realm of causality, Schopenhauer states the long dream, life, has throughout complete connection according to the principle of sufficient reason. It has not this connection with short dreams. Although each of these has in itself the same connection, the bridge is therefore broken between the former and the latter, and on this account we distinguish them. End quote. Schopenhauer, I don't think, was a supporter of solipsism, and my explanation of the causal nexus in relation to Schopenhauer between reality and dream does not intend to support it either. I don't think you can completely disprove solipsism or completely prove reality, hence why he concedes on the matter in relation to dreams. Schopenhauer is just saying that life is a long dream and another is a short dream, and that everything is experience, which is a monist outlook, as Schopenhauer did see value in the ideas of Atman and Brahman. In relation to the will, the content of the thing itself is the will. In relation to birth and death, he claims it to only be the phenomenon of the will, that death is nothing but fleeting phenomena in the form of time, And thus, he uses Shiva in Indian mythology, who wears a necklace of skulls, but also a lingam, which is the symbol of generation, showing that they are correlatives. Even though the causal realm becomes anew in dream, it still, as from the works and claims of psychoanalysis and the general subject, still contains representations of the awakened conscious life. To a high degree, it is then an understood possibility that the living life does influence dream, which possibly shows the upper hand in which experienced life has over dream, as being the true reality. As how can a long dream influence a short dream? Well, it is very much possible. The substance which is experienced in life and dream can still be transferable, just not in the same causal nexus. It is the causal chain that is the differentiating signifier between life and dream. Therefore, with any form of experienced life being defined by its causal nexus, and if we cannot find a clear criterion to disprove that living life is also not a dream, then it is very much the possibility that life is a dream. Individual dreams, as we have come to observe them, are distinguished from our real life by the fact that they do not fit into our continuity, which runs through the whole of our awakened experience. The act of awakening is the empirical criterion that brings this forward, so that we may compare the said causal infrastructure from that of dream. Yet this still does not always bring about complete certainty for Schopenhauer. A fundamental that can be made certain about the general realm of experience is that the experience of dream is a continuity of experience, which is a form of real life. Therefore, as it being a form of real life, it indicates that it is something of its own continuity, just as the living life itself. With the two experiences and their according nature being that they both reside in real life, both a form and both thus having a continuity, indicates that there is no distinct difference in their nature. What we are in a sense forced to do is concede to the poets and claims that life may just be a long dream, as Schopenhauer claims. Therefore, Schopenhauer falls along the lines that is a very high possibility, and by doing so makes the general claim as to that of what Pascal offers with his thought experiment on the king and pauper. I quote, "If we dreamt the same thing every night, it would affect us as much as the objects we see every day. And if an artisan were sure to dream every night for 12 hours duration that he was a king, I believe he would be almost as happy as a king, who should dream every night for 12 hours on end that he was an artisan." End quote. The intimate relationship between life and dream is presented by many culture, such as the Vedas. It was even Plato that said that men live on in dream. The philosopher alone strives to awake himself. A state of existence called turiya, this is what the Upanishads referred to as the state when we cease to view and experience matter and its relations to feel only consciousness in all its glory. It is said that this is the highest level of consciousness and that anything before, anything of life or dream, are illusory. Even the Vedas referred to the entire knowledge of the actual world as the web of Maya. I quote, "Not inwardly cognitive, not outwardly cognitive, not both wise cognitive, not a cognitive mass, not cognitive, not non-cognitive, unseen, with which there can be no dealing, ungraspable, having no distinctive mark, non-thinkable, that cannot be designated, the essence of assurance, of which is the state of being, one with the self, the cessation of development, tranquil, benign, without a second, such they think is the fourth. He is the self, Atman, he should be discerned." End quote. So what do you think? Dream and reality. Obviously, there are many claims against reality being a dream, but with the explanation of causal chains and the disconnection in the principles of sufficient reason, maybe Schopenhauer opened up the unanswerability of this question in relation to reality. Even materialism fails at understanding and explaining consciousness So tell me in the comments your thoughts, give this video a like, subscribe, sign up to my newsletter where I'll have a link in the comments section and description below, and I will speak to you in the next video. Thanks for watching.